So in this problem, we're going to be using molarity to find the solute mass. And the problem tells us we have 315 milliliters of a 0.17 molar potassium dichromate solution, and we have to calculate the mass in grams of potassium dichromate that the chemist has added to the flask. So to do this, we're going to start with the equation C equals N over V, which is concentration equals moles over volume. So we need to get to moles of potassium dichromate, so we got to rearrange this equation to N equals C times V. So we know what concentration is, 0.17 molar, and we know what volume is, 315.0 milliliters. But we need to convert the 315 milliliters into liters in order for it to work in this equation. So to do that, we put 315.0 milliliters and 1 milliliter down here, and 10 to the negative 3 liters on top. So the milliliters cancel out, and when we plug this into our calculator, you get 0.3150 liters. So now we can use that in the equation. So N moles equals concentration 0.17 molar times 0.3150 liters, which is the volume. Now when we run that through our calculator, we get 0.05355 moles. So now that we know the moles, we can calculate the mass of the potassium dichromate. So in order to do this, we have another stoichiometry problem. 0.05355 moles of potassium dichromate and then you have 1 mole of potassium dichromate down here, and 1 mole of potassium dichromate is equal to 294.2 grams. And if you're wondering how I got that, it's from the periodic weight of each element in the periodic table. So potassium, you take the weight from the periodic table and multiply it by 2 because there's 2 of them in it. Chromate or chromium, there's 2 of them, so you multiply it by 2. You multiply the weight of the periodic table by 2, and then for oxygen there's 7 of them, so you multiply the weight of oxygen on the periodic table times 7, and then that brings you to the 294.2 grams. And then when you run that through your calculator, you get 15.75441 grams. But in this problem, you need it to be to have the least amount of sig figs as they give you, and here has 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs, and here has 1, 2. So you know your answer has to have 2 sig figs, which is just this digit and this digit. And when we look to the right of this digit, it'll round this up. So we're left with 16 grams of K2CR2O7. So we have 16 grams of potassium dichromate.